Well, we're still coming down off the high of last night's debate. It was absolutely glorious watching Kamala Harris just absolutely torch Donald Trump. I would really hate to be MAGA waking up this morning and trying to get on social media to try to explain this one away. Good luck with that, guys. It's pretty entertaining watching you try. I just felt like the contrast couldn't have been any more different. It couldn't have been any more clear. On one side, we had a competent woman with a message for the future. We had someone who was clearly the sane voice in the room. And on the other side of the aisle, we just had an old man screaming at the clouds, just saying the most unhinged stuff that's going to live on forever. Last night's debate will be what Donald Trump will be remembered for from now on. They will be playing that when we're old, 30 years from now, we're sitting around talking to the great-grandkids about all this. We'll be talking about, yeah, he really did say they're eating the dogs in Springfield. And when my dad laid over in his recliner laughing at that moment, I realized that Trump was toast. It was just one of those, because my dad takes everything dead serious and just gets so angry hearing him talk that when he realized how off the rails it was, I was like, okay, she's got this one in the bag. Another thought that I had was, we woke up the morning after the Biden debate, and I came out here to make a video about it, and I could not put a positive spin on it for you guys and tell you that he won that debate. I felt like he won it on points. I felt like that he stayed on point, and I felt like Donald Trump lied a lot. But I had to come to grips with the fact that he had a bad night, and I had to call it out. There was no way that I could sit here and say to you, oh, guys, he killed it. He just floored Trump. He didn't. We had a moment of truth. We had a moment of realization, and we dealt with that, and now we've got Kamala Harris in the race. But MAGA is stuck with Trump. They've broke themselves, and now they're going to have to pay for it, and it's pretty funny to watch. If they're waking up this morning thinking that he won or thinking that he mopped the floor with her, then the Kool-Aid has taken hold and there's no hope, because that debate should be every bit as damaging, if more damaging to him than the debate was to Joe Biden. Because you could say that Joe Biden had an off night. You could say that Joe Biden, just wasn't feeling good that day. You could say a whole lot of things about that. Trump came out completely off the rails, completely unhinged, and he fell for her bait every time she baited him. He fell for it. He couldn't not talk about it, and that's what made it so damn funny to me. So when this clip here came up, this is the moment where my dad fell over in the chair laughing, because, yeah, he really said out loud, they're eating the dogs, and man, if you're a comedian, you just hit the jackpot. Take a look.
Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is the
people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
television. But the people on television saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.
To me, if someone said, find one clip that just sums up MAGA better than anything, that'd be it for me. That's the one I would pick to show you, because he makes this over-the-top, ridiculous, hyperbolic claim. And then when he gets fact-checked to his face, well, I saw it on TV. I saw it on TV. There's people saying it on the TV. That just was even funnier to me than what he said, because that's MAGA. That's who they are. Doesn't matter if it's true at all. If somebody said it on the internet, if they can find a link that they can share with their aunt on Facebook, then they think it's true. And, if someone, was to call in and say they saw Bigfoot, they believe that. If someone was to call in and say they had evidence that the moon landing was staged, they believe that. As long as somebody says it on TV, they'll fall for it every time. But what is so funny to me about the whole dogs comment, it just reminds me of like your drunk uncle that you're worried about at the cookout, and you may drive him to the cookout, and on your way there you're going, hey, now listen, Bobby, whatever you do when we get here, don't bring this up, okay? Just don't bring that up. Well, I'll say what I want to say about it. No, listen, seriously. Don't bring this up. You're going to look like an idiot, okay? Everybody's going to laugh at you. Just don't do it. All right, I won't. Don't worry, I ain't going to say nothing. And then the minute they said Springfield, you realized he was going to say it, and you're like sitting there going, oh, no, please don't. Oh, God, here he goes. If Trump's campaign advisors was sitting back watching that thinking that was a good moment for him, they're dumber than he is, because that had to be the moment where they looked at each other and said, we're fucked. They just were. But J.D. Vance, buddy, he will go out there and fall on his sword for daddy. And he does so in this clip. He defends that lunacy that we just watched. Take a look.
Brought up, which I was kind of surprised by, I guess I would say, is he brought up this misleading false claim that you yourself have talked about in recent days about Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, abducting people's pets and eating them, which officials there have said is not true. You yourself acknowledged it may be false on Twitter. You still told people to keep spreading it. But Trump just amplified it to tens of millions of people who were watching. Why push something that's not true?
Well, first of all, city officials have not said it's not true. They've said they don't have all the evidence.
They said they have no evidence.
We've heard from a number of constituents on the ground, Caitlin, who both firsthand and secondhand reports saying this stuff is happening. So they very clearly, meaning the people on the ground dealing with this, think that it is happening. And I think that it's important for journalists to actually get on the ground and uncover this stuff for themselves when you have a lot of people saying, my pets are being abducted, or geese at the city pond are being abducted and slaughtered right in front of us. This is crazy stuff. And
you talk about taking one for the team. He sure as hell did. Not only did he go out there and double down on what Trump said, but they're slaughtering geese too right in front of people. And you better do your job, Caitlin. You better go to Springfield and start talking to some people now, because we've been having people call in and tell us there's no evidence for it, none whatsoever. But hey, we're going to say it anyway because somebody said it. So we're just going to keep repeating it. That's the kind of nonsensical bullshit that these people buy into. And what's going to be so funny is watching JD try to pick up the pieces once it's over. And I promise you, he's going to go back to, well, I was never really a Trump guy. Caitlin, I never really was. But, you get called to be VP, and I thought I could make a difference. And you watch and see. That's where he'll go with this. But for now, he's defending that stuff. And I think every time he tries to say anything, we should just circle back to that. Did you really say that? Did you really defend that? Did you really defend the drunk uncle at the cookout? But speaking of the drunk uncle at the cookout, he can't stop. He can't stop. Like he cannot stop himself. So he keeps talking. He goes on Fox News, and can you guess what hit he plays here? Can you predict it? Can you pick it out? I'll give you a second. Yeah, he said the debate was rigged. Oh, shocker here.
Kamala doesn't do any shows. She doesn't do interviews. She doesn't talk to people. She doesn't do anything like that. And that's not fair to the public because they don't know what they're getting. But they saw last night what they had. They had a rigged show with somebody that maybe even had the answers. I mean, I'll be honest. I watched her talk. And I said, she seems awfully familiar with the questions, and you get pretty good at that stuff after a while. But when I saw how totally rigged that was, I take a look at it, and I watch, and I say, you have to get out there. And one of the things I did is I said, let's do this show at, what time is it, 6:30 in the morning. And it's an honor to do it. But you have to go out and you have to do the shows.
Yeah, he actually said they must have gave her the questions. She had the questions in advance. No, she smoked your ass, pal. That's exactly what happened. And you were out of your element because you were dying for a rematch with Joe. You wanted to be able to sit there and scream in Joe Biden's face and go unchecked, and that's not what happened. And to anyone out there who is saying that the moderators ganged up on him, I don't feel that at all. They did fact check him some as they went, but they still let him butt in. He still kept talking. Even when the mic was off, he still, talked till they turned the mic back on. So he couldn't stop himself. He could not pump the brakes. He couldn't rein himself in. And he would be an idiot of epic proportions to ever take another debate with her. I've already heard that she wants another one. I can't blame her. I mean, you would want to just go ahead and beat this one on home. But he would be totally stupid if he takes one. So he'll probably now go to the whole it was rigged. But again, it's such a misogynistic comment that he's insinuating that the only way a woman could beat him would be if she had the answers in advance. Well, here's the thing about Trump's answers. His answers were kind of wrote out in advance, because that's the same tired rhetoric, the same tired act that he's been doing on the campaign trail this entire time. He just found a place to say those same talking points. He offered nothing new, and Tim Walz just nails it in this next clip. He was just an old man yelling at the clouds. Take a look.
How are you feeling? What's your reaction to the debate tonight?
Martha, I'm feeling great because what I knew, and I think so many knew, and now many Americans know, is you saw a president for all America in Kamala Harris. You saw the confidence, you saw the vision, you saw the poise, and you saw the compassion for people, understanding she spoke about an economy that moves us forward, moves all of us forward, lets everybody be a part of it. And she continued to lay that out, whether it's reproductive freedom or how we start small businesses or making home ownership easier. And on the other side, you saw a nearly 80-year-old Donald Trump, angry, unhinged, and as you've been discussing, talking about things that are deeply concerning because they make no impact on the American public. He shouldn't be anywhere near the White House. And I have to tell you, if it weren't so dangerous, it reminds you of an old man yelling at the clouds. That was his thing. Get off my yard. That's what he did. Contrast that with the poison of Harris laying out the question for everything that matters. And so I think the whole country can see what happened tonight. We'll keep pushing forward. That's the way that the country wants to see our politics be. She laid it out clearly. Donald Trump brought nothing tonight. Anger, resentment.
Governor Walz,
You know, folks, I can't lie. It feels pretty good to see Governor Walz smiling and excited about this. I know we all are. We had a good night, and he's right. Trump was just an old man yelling at the clouds, and Kamala was given a clear-cut vision for the future, and she's just such a breath of fresh air. We needed it so badly. But again, it's not time to rest on our laurels. It's not time to take our eye off the ball. We have to keep moving forward and realize what it is we're up against. It's only going to get uglier as we go forward. They're going to double down on that same old tired rhetoric because that's all they got. They're going to beat that dead horse in hopes that they can somehow squeeze one out. But I really don't think that they can. I think we have to stay focused, though, and don't get ahead of ourselves. And if I'm going to make a boxing analogy before we go, I think Trump would be an absolute idiot to ask for a rematch here. If you watch the Michael Spinks versus Tyson fight back in '88, Tyson just mopped the floor with him in like 90 seconds. I mean, just ragdolled him. It was brutal. And that was when Tyson unified the three titles, the WBC, WBA, and IBF. That's when he unified the belts. Michael Spinks could have asked for a rematch, but he didn't. He didn't because it was so convincing. It was like, why would I? Why would I try that again? And I feel like that last night she was Tyson and he was Spinks, and he just got ragdolled. He'd be a moron to come back and ask for one again. But then again, he's so arrogant and his ego's so huge that I absolutely think he might be dumb enough to do it because he can't quit talking. He really believes if he keeps hitting these same old tired hits over and over and over again, he thinks he'll be able to pull it out. And the sad part is there's people that stuff still does resonate with, and they're fired up and ready to vote. I always say this, like my buddy Denver Riggleman said, a stupid vote counts the same as a smart vote. So if he can inspire people to get out there and vote with this same old tired rhetoric, then, he could be the leader of the free world again. So we have to be the majority here, and I think that we are. And so everybody just stay focused, feel good, take it in, enjoy it, brag a little bit, boast, poke fun at your coworker. I don't care, but stay focused. Stay focused. And you know what? Just sit back and watch your aunt's Facebook and watch the people you went to high school's Facebook, read those comment sections, just have you a good gut laugh. Because at this point, anyone in the game that's saying, well, these are the choices we got, I guess I'm going to write in somebody else. I mean, just go ahead and laugh. I mean, there's nothing you can say for those people.